My wife said, "My ex will be at the office party. Don't make it awkward." I smiled. Of course, I'll be on my best behavior. What she didn't know was that I had already met her ex at the bank, and the conversation we had there changed everything that night. I'm a 32-year-old guy, married for 4 years to my wife Sarah. We met in college, dated for 3 years before tying the knot, and I genuinely thought we had something solid. She works in marketing at a mid-sized tech company downtown, and I'm in commercial real estate. We're comfortable, not rich, but we've built a decent life together. Or so I thought. About 3 weeks ago, Sarah mentioned her company's annual holiday party. It's always a big deal. Open bar, fancy venue, the works. She seemed a little nervous when she brought it up over dinner one Tuesday night. "So, the office party is on the 15th, she said, pushing her pasta around her plate. "I just want to give you a heads up. Marcus will be there." Marcus, her ex-boyfriend from before we met. I knew about him in the abstract way you know about your partner's past. Names, vague timelines, nothing detailed. They dated for about 2 years in their mid-20s, broke up, and that was supposedly that. "Okay," I said. "Why are you telling me this?" "I just don't want it to be awkward." He joined the company about 6 months ago. Different department. We barely interact, but he'll obviously be at the party. "Sarah, I'm a grown man. I'm not going to make a scene at your work event because your ex is there." She smiled, relieved. "I know. I just wanted to be upfront about it." I told her it was fine, and honestly, at that moment, I meant it. I trusted her. We'd never had issues with jealousy or past relationships, but something about how she brought it up stuck with me. The nervousness, the way she kept glancing at me while she spoke. Fast forward to that Friday. I had to stop by our bank around lunchtime to sort out some paperwork for a property closing. I was sitting in one of those little glass offices with our account manager when I noticed a guy in a sharp suit walk past the window. Tall, fit, dark hair. He went to the teller line, then got called to another office 2 doors down from mine. I didn't think anything of it until I was leaving 20 minutes later. As I walked past that office, I heard the banker say, "All right, Mr. Donovan, everything looks good with the transfer. That's $47,000 moved to the joint account, ending in 3849. I froze. Not because of the amount, people move money all the time, but because I saw his face clearly through the glass. And 30 minutes later, when I got back to my car, I pulled up Sarah's company directory on her laptop that she'd left at home that morning. There he was, Marcus Donovan, senior account executive. My heart was pounding. A joint account. $47,000. I went home and checked our bank accounts, every single one. Nothing matched those last 4 digits. I checked Sarah's phone records online. I checked our credit cards. I didn't find anything immediately obvious, but that number, 3849, was burned into my brain. I didn't say anything to Sarah that weekend. I played it cool. We watched movies, went out for brunch on Saturday, normal stuff. But I was watching her differently now. The way she checked her phone, the way she'd smile at random texts. Things I'd never paid attention to before suddenly felt loaded with meaning. Monday morning, I did something I'm not proud of. I waited until Sarah left for work. Then I went through her home office. I found her old laptop, the one she used before her company issued her a new one last year. It still had charge. I opened it up, and it logged in automatically. Her email was still synced. I went back 6 months, right around when Marcus joined her company. I found it almost immediately, an email chain between them. It started professional enough, welcome to the team type stuff. But by the 3rd week, the tone shifted. Marcus, it's crazy seeing you again after all these years. You look even better than I remember. Sarah, stop it. You know I'm married. Marcus, I know. Doesn't change the truth. It escalated from there. By week 8, they were meeting for coffee. Just as friends, she'd written. By month 3, the emails got more intimate. Not explicitly sexual, but close. I keep thinking about what we had, he wrote. Maybe we gave up too easily. Her response, we were different people then. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it sometimes. I felt sick. But I kept reading. 2 months ago, there was an email with a PDF attachment. I opened it. It was a lease agreement for an apartment across town, signed by both of them, as co-tenants. Starting December 1st. That's when everything clicked. The joint account, the $47,000. They were planning to leave their lives behind and start over together. And judging by the timeline, she was planning to tell me after the holidays. Update 1. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I knew I needed more before she could spin some story or gaslight me into doubting what I'd found. I called a buddy of mine who works in private investigation, mostly corporate stuff, but he knows people. I sent him everything I had. He called me back 3 hours later. "Man, I'm sorry," he said. "But yeah, the account exists. It's at a different bank, not yours. And they've both been contributing to it. Started small, but it ramped up fast. Can you find out more?" "Give me a week." I gave him a week. During that time, Sarah was completely normal, affectionate even. We had sex twice. She made me dinner. She asked about my day. It was like living in a simulation where I was the only one who knew none of it was real. The office party was on the 15th, a Saturday night. Sarah spent all afternoon getting ready. Hair, makeup, a new dress she'd bought specifically for the event. She looked beautiful, and I hated that I could still think that while knowing what I knew. In the car on the way there, she reminded me, "Marcus will be there. Please just be polite if you meet him. I know it might feel weird, but it's important to me that tonight goes smoothly." I smiled at her. "Of course. I'll be on my best behavior." She squeezed my hand. "Thank you." The party was at this upscale hotel ballroom, maybe 200 people. Open bar, DJ, the whole thing. Sarah immediately got pulled into conversations with coworkers. I grabbed a drink and hung back, scanning the room. It took me about 10 minutes to spot him. Marcus was standing near the bar, talking to a group of people. He looked exactly like I remembered from the bank. Confident, expensive suit. The kind of guy who probably played lacrosse in college. I watched him for a while. At one point, Sarah walked past him. They made eye contact. She gave him a polite smile, nothing more, and kept walking. Good performance. Around 8 p.m., I saw him step outside onto the patio for a phone call. I followed him. He was alone, leaning against the railing, phone to his ear. I waited until he hung up. "Marcus?" He turned, surprised. "Yeah?" "I'm Ryan." Sarah's husband. His face went through about 5 different expressions in 2 seconds. Surprise, recognition, fear, then forced calm. "Oh, hey, nice to finally meet you." He extended his hand. I shook it. Firm grip, eye contact. "She's told me a lot about you." "All good things, I hope." He laughed. It sounded nervous. "She mentioned you'd be here tonight." "Said you two used to date?" "Yeah, a long time ago. Ancient history." "Right, ancient history." I paused, took a sip of my drink. "Hey, random question. Do you bank at First National?" The color drained from his face, just for a second, but I saw it. Yeah. Why?" "I thought I saw you there last Friday." "I was in for some paperwork. Small world, right?" "Yeah. Small world." He was trying to play it cool, but his voice was tight. "I couldn't help but overhear you were moving some money around." "Something like 47 grand? That's a big transfer." His jaw clenched. "That's private." "Of course. I'm not trying to pry, just making conversation." I smiled. "Must be exciting, whatever you're saving up for." He didn't respond, just stared at me. I leaned in slightly, keeping my voice low. "Here's the thing, Marcus. I know about the apartment. I know about the account. I know about the emails. I know everything." His face went from pale to red. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Yes, you do. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk back into that party, and you're going to avoid my wife for the rest of the night. You're going to start looking for a new job on Monday, and you're going to disappear from her life. Because if you don't, I'm going to make sure everyone in that ballroom, your boss, her boss, HR, knows exactly what you two have been planning. You can't prove anything. I pulled out my phone, opened a folder, and showed him screenshots of the emails, the lease, bank records my PI friend had pulled. His face went white again. "Try me," I said. He didn't say anything, just stood there breathing hard. Finally, he nodded, once, sharp and quick. "Good talk," I said, and walked back inside. Update 2. The rest of the party was surreal. I kept my distance from Marcus, and he kept his from Sarah. She didn't seem to notice anything was off. Around 10 p.m., she found me near the bar, a little tipsy, laughing with some of her co-workers. "Having fun?" she asked, sliding her arm around my waist. "Yeah, it's a great party. Your company knows how to throw an event. Did you meet Marcus?" "Briefly. Seemed like a nice guy." She smiled, relieved. "Good. I'm glad tonight went smoothly. We left around 11. In the car, she was chatty, relaxed. She had no idea. When we got home, she kissed me goodnight and passed out almost immediately. I stayed up until 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out my next move. Monday morning, I called a divorce attorney. Consultation was scheduled for Wednesday. I also called my PI buddy and asked him to keep digging. I wanted everything documented in case this got ugly. Tuesday night, Sarah got a call around 7 p.m. She answered in the living room, and I could hear her voice go from casual to tense in seconds. "What do you mean you're leaving? Marcus, wait." "No, we had a plan. What happened?" She walked into the bedroom and closed the door. I pressed my ear against it. "You can't just quit. We've been planning this for months. What did he say to you? Marcus, answer me." Silence. Then I heard her start crying. Soft at first, then harder. I walked away and sat on the couch. About 10 minutes later, she came out, face blotchy, eyes red. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just some drama at work." She wiped her eyes and went to the kitchen. I didn't push it. Update 3. Wednesday, I met with the attorney, showed him everything. He said I had a solid case, especially with the financial planning for the affair. He advised me to file soon before she could move assets around or change the narrative. Thursday morning, I got a call from my PI. "You're going to want to hear this. Marcus didn't just quit. He's leaving the state. Put in his notice on Monday, effective immediately. Told his company it was a family emergency. He's moving back to Oregon." "Are you serious?" "Dead serious, he's running. And get this, he withdrew his half of the joint account. All of it. Sarah's portion is still sitting there." I almost laughed. He'd bailed. Completely. Left her holding the bag. That night, I sat Sarah down. She knew something was coming. I could see it in her face. "We need to talk," I said. "About what?" "About Marcus. About the apartment. About the $47,000 in an account I don't have access to." Her face crumbled. No denial. No surprise. Just tears. "How did you—" "It doesn't matter how I know. What matters is that I do." She tried to explain. Said it started as just coffee. That she never meant for it to go that far. That she was confused. That Marcus made her feel like she did when she was younger. That she hadn't decided anything for sure yet. I stopped her. "You signed a lease, Sarah. You moved money. You lied to my face for months. You already decided." She sobbed, begged me to let her explain, to give her a chance. But I was done. I told her I'd already spoken to an attorney, that I wanted a divorce, that she had 2 weeks to find somewhere else to live. She tried to call Marcus. He didn't answer. She tried again the next day. Blocked. He was gone. Completely ghosted her. Final update. The divorce took 6 months to finalize. Sarah tried to fight it at first, but once her attorney saw the evidence, they advised her to settle. She had to split the joint account money with me as part of the settlement, which felt like poetic justice. She moved in with a friend and eventually got her own place. I heard through mutual acquaintances that Marcus never came back. He's somewhere in Portland now, working for a startup. Sarah's still at the same company, but from what I understand, people found out about the affair. Her reputation took a hit. As for me, I'm doing better than I expected. I threw myself into work, reconnected with old friends, started going to the gym regularly. I even went on a few dates, though nothing serious yet. I'm not in a rush. Looking back, the weirdest part is how normal everything seemed right up until it wasn't. I keep thinking about that night at the bank. If I hadn't walked past that office, if I hadn't overheard that one sentence, I might have stayed in the dark until she was ready to leave. Maybe that would have hurt more, or maybe it would have hurt less. I don't know. What I do know is that I'm glad I found out when I did. I'm glad I confronted Marcus, and I'm glad I walked away before I wasted any more years on someone who could plan a whole separate life behind my back. Edit 1. A few people have asked why I didn't confront Sarah immediately after finding the emails. Honestly, I needed time to process it and gather evidence. I knew if I went in angry and half-informed, she could have spun it or deleted things. Waiting gave me control. Edit 2. Yes, Marcus really did ghost her completely. According to a friend who still works at her company, she tried to reach him for weeks. He blocked her on everything. I almost feel bad for her. Almost. Edit 3. For those wondering, the apartment lease was never used. They'd paid the first and last month's rent, but since neither of them moved in, they forfeited it. That money's just gone. Probably the most expensive lesson either of them will ever learn.
Like, that's a good thing to do when you just want to be completely distracted. That's what I like. I like watching people make, like, tables.
Yes.
Furniture and shit.
The horse hoof cleaning is great.
I watched that too. Farriers.
What is that? Is that something Innis, I think, from innate old times?
It must be.
It must be.
Like there's a nail in his hoof. Oh,
yeah.
Get it out.
Get it out. Get the gunk out.
Help the horse.
Yeah, and the horse loves it. That's a good one. What else is good? The pressure washing is kind of fun. That's when I'm really high. I take an edible. I just wash a guy. He's just washing a wall, and it goes from black to cement.
Yeah,
32 million views.
32 million.
million.
Okay, so what is that? Why are we so interested in watching people clean up horse hooves?
Well, I think part of it is it doesn't hurt the horse, and it looks like it would. So that's kind of fascinating because it's all, what is that, like cartilage or?
Well, it's all like fingernail stuff. It's
I
like
guess so.
Giant fat fingernails.
Wow.
That's what it's like. I mean, that's what a horse hoof is. And if they don't take care of the hooves, they get real weird and they look like Arab shoes where they like curl up at the tips.
Yeah, right. There
yeah,
it is.
like that.
There
yeah.
it is.
So this must be somebody just like completely neglected that poor horse.
But what did horses do in the,
They wear off from running around.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, just like a dog's fingernails. Like you have to trim your dog's nails unless the dogs run around outside a lot, and then you don't have to do anything.
Got it.
Oh, the dog's all happy.
It's like rat
all
teeth.
happy now.
They never stop growing.
Rat teeth don't stop growing? But beaver teeth don't, right?
Oh, is that right? I didn't know
Oh,
that.
shearing sheep.
Oh, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it amazing how many views? How many views does that have?
I guess.
Yeah, 23 million.
I'm gonna go.
3 million subscribers on the channel.
I'm gonna go 80 million.
3 million subscribers.
3.7.
3.7 million.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
This is just a Greek guy.
Look at that.
At the
There's
barber.
another guy that I love. It's the channel's called Wilderness Cooking, and this guy lives in Azerbaijan and he cooks in the mountains. It always looks delicious. And then at the end of it, he has a bite of it and he looks at you and he goes, "Super." He like gives you a thumb up. And
Yeah.
it's a great channel. And that guy's got millions and millions of views. This dude. So he's always like he catches fish and he does all the things. He makes his own fire and he's always cooking in weird ways.
Wow. See, this guy's way happier than all of us.
Oh yeah. He's having a good time. Well, he lives in peaceful mountains. He's making delicious food.
Mm-hmm. Imagine him on Cameo just saying super. He could make $1 billion.
Yeah, but it was happy birthday, super.
Wow.
Who makes the most on Cameo? They're still doing that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's like the #1 earner on Cameo?
That's a great question. I'm sure Dynamite had a run. It's got to be somebody with a catchphrase.
Is Jimmy Walker still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Is he still touring?
I'd imagine. I don't know how he pays the bills.
No.
These old